passion might not be integral for success, but it keeps you going. It keeps you grounded. So sometimes you might be doing something that is giving you a lot of money, but you're not happy. You don't feel fulfilled. So I think my name is Rashidat Sanusi, and I'm the program officer at the D.A.R.E Foundation. Keep watching Tidbits with KoreLola. Thank you.
That's good. Okay.
Okay.
You mentioned you were one of the panelists here today. You
Yes.
spoke about your journey to becoming one of the managers at D.A.R.E Foundation.
Maybe not manager.
Yeah, the NGOs you were part of and the rest.
Yes.
Was there ever a time you were tempted to give up? What kept you persevering? How did you stick to your plan, stick to your goal? Did you have a vision in mind?
Yeah.
How did you navigate giving up or not wanting to give up?
Okay, so for me, I think one thing that really helped me was, apart from having a goal, was having a community of practice, people who believed in me and people I could look up to that were doing what I wanted to do, and that really helped me. My first job within the NGO space, which I do not mention most time, was very toxic, was not nice, and I don't put them on my CV because, yeah, I don't mind, but after that experience, I could have stopped, I could have taken a step back. But I looked at who had my mentors, people I'd looked up to in my space, and I also looked at people I wanted to be like, not necessarily people I speak to, but I see them on TV, I see the work they do, and I saw it was something I would love to do, and I think that was what kept me going. I think my community of practice is something that keeps me going, and I would say for every young person out there, you don't necessarily need to know your mentors, but you need to have people who you look up to, people who you see them doing what you want to do, and you see it as an example you'd want to pick for yourself, and that will really keep you going. It's not always a smooth ride. I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm happy about where I am and how far I would go, inshallah. Thank you. That's how it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
What was the hardest decision you had to make in the face of challenges? What was the hardest decision you had to make? How did you find the clarity to make that decision?
For me, I think the hardest decision I had to make was to pick my passion over money. I believe I could be doing other things that will be paying me good money now, but I knew that I had a deep desire for what I want to do. I'm climate currently, but I also started from gender, SRHR, and I always look at the intersectionality. Personally, I'm very community oriented. I know it sounds cliche, but I am. I want to see how what I do impacts people around me, the little impact, the big impact, how my work affects other people. And for me, that's what keeps me going. It doesn't pay much. And I'm sure maybe in the future I'll get big money, but for now, it doesn't pay much. But the desire and the happiness I get from what I do is enough to keep me going. So I think that's the hardest decision I had to make.
You spoke on passion.
Yes.
A lot of people talk about passion. Successful people talk about passion. For
Yeah.
your passion, do you think passion is integral for success?
That's technical. I think passion might not be integral for success, but it keeps you going. It keeps you grounded. So sometimes you might be doing something that is giving you a lot of money, but you're not happy. You don't feel fulfilled. So I think it might not be integral for success, but it keeps you going. It's like a grounder, because at the end of the day, you are doing something that makes you happy. So I think that's how I would look at it.
Success often comes with sacrifices.
Yeah.
Did you have to give up anything?
Okay, I think so. So in my undergraduate, I studied theatre arts.
Oh,
I'm more of the art person, and people who know me outside the space are very surprised to see me here. I think I had to give up a bit of my I don't say creativity, but how I want to be presented. And I would say the way I dress. When I was in school, I don't dress like this. But I realized that you have to carry yourself in a certain way to be appreciated in a certain way. And that has shaped how I have been able to present myself. So I had to give a bit of my own frivolities that I would have really loved to keep just to shape a brand for myself. And yeah, at the end of the day, it's all about your brand, I guess. Yes.
what's a lesson you're still learning at this stage in your career?
Okay, there are plenty lessons. I'm learning plenty lessons, but I think one of the major lessons is patience. And patience is a virtue. You need to see the bigger picture. Because when I was younger, I'm still young, but when I was younger, I was very myopic. I had like a very small mindset. I could just see what was in front of me. But patience made me understand that sometimes the bigger picture is bigger than what you are looking at currently. So I think that's one of the major lessons I was meant to learn. Patience and how to see beyond what you're seeing currently.
What major epiphany have you had over the past 10 years about life in general? What
Do you
major
think I am?
thing?
Okay, I think
Yeah.
for me, a major epiphany.
Yeah.
Let me see. I have to think that one through. I think for me is that life is a full circle sometimes, and you don't have to be old to see that full circle. It comes really quick, and I'm more conscious about how I relate to people now. I'm more conscious about the things I say, because your full circle can come the next day. So you have to be very conscious about how you relate with people and be good. Just be good and be true to yourself. I think that's the major epiphany. I don't know if that's an epiphany itself. That's more like a quote or something. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Good. Lastly, what role has intuition played in your decision-making process? When you want to choose, okay, I want to go for this position, I want to apply for this, especially as for young people like ourselves, what role should intuition play in our decision-making process?
I think intuition plays a very major role, but at the same time, you also have to shape your intuition. You build your intuition to a good extent, and this comes from experiences. This comes from things you learn, things you pick up around the way. So my intuition maybe 3 years ago, I don't think it's the same now, because I've been able to evolve over time. I've been able to see things from a different perspective, and that has shaped my intuition and how I address issues now compared to how I would have addressed them before. So yeah, I think intuition plays a good role, but you also have to build your intuition over time to be able to think logically and say, oh, okay, this is good, this is bad. I think that's what worked for me.
Here today, I heard a lot about building capacity.
Yeah.
A lot of panelists spoke about building capacity.
Yeah.
How you
Minus
can
me.
build
But yeah, let's go.
Yeah. A lot of panelists spoke about building capacity. What is like the most efficient way as a young person to build capacity?
I think capacity building starts from you. Like I mentioned, you want to go into a space. What are the data around that space? What do you understand about that space? Build your own capacity yourself. So build your own capacity yourself, and then you can now see where your gaps are. So if you don't even know what is in existence, like I earlier mentioned inside, how do you know what you're trying to fix? So build capacity around yourself, then you can now look at where your gaps are, and you can now take in information. Because sometimes you're just taking a lot of information that you don't necessarily need because you don't even know what you need. And for me, when I entered the space, I was just consuming a lot of information. I was able to filter my information. I'm like, okay, this is what I want. This is what I want. These are the parts I want. And it has really helped me so far. So I think that's like, for me, that would be the around capacity building. You build your own capacity, then you now learn from others, and you learn, relearn, unlearn, like it has been said so many times today.
I have a question on getting into the right rooms.
Yeah.
For example, this I keep referencing to it because it's been very impactful on me.
Yeah.
This event. How can young people position themselves better? Put themselves in the right room, talk to the right people. Even when they meet the right people, how can they position themselves to those people? How can they connect with those people efficiently, the easiest way?
Okay, I think you are in the right room today.
Yeah.
And first off, try and networking. And also, when you meet people, have a pitch, I think. Know what you want, and at the same time, know what you can offer the person, because sometimes we're just asking, what do you benefit me? So maybe I meet you and I tell you, okay, you told me, you have an interview for your private channel. It makes sense. You're putting me on the spot. I'm telling you my own piece. But you can't just come and tell me, I want to run for office. What have you put in place? What have you done? Or you can't tell me, I want to be a program officer. Have you volunteered before? You want me to give you a job somewhere you've not? So sometimes know your pitch, know your audience, and just position yourself the best way you can. It's not always going to be easy. Networking is one of the hardest things. I don't even like doing it that much, but position yourself and always sell yourself. Put your best self forward every time. I think that's what I say.
Lastly, aspirations. How
Aspire?
Yeah, aspirations.
Okay.
What are the ways you've aspired growing up? Aspired to a lot of things.
My aspirations have changed over the years, but I think one major thing is my core. And I tell this to everybody, and I'll use this to end the session. Have your core. What's your core value? What are the core things? I have 5, and I hold these 5 dear to me. And when I look at whatever I'm trying to go into, whether be it financial, religious, economical, whatever it is. I look at it, does it fit into my core? Does it fit into my core values? And if it doesn't, then I won't be there. You won't see me there. So I think that that's something that can help you have what your core values are, and then use that to shape your life. And yeah, you'll be good.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you
for your
very
time.
much.
It was nice having you on
Yeah.
Tidbits.
It was nice having you too. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, kindly like, subscribe, and enable notifications for more inspiring stories from Nigeria and Africa. I am your host, KoreLola. Don't forget to keep watching Tidbits with KoreLola. Stay inspired.